shalt thou come, but no further, and here shall thy proud ways be stayed. Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and that the wicked might not be shaken out of it? It is turned as clay to the seal, and thy stand as a garment. And from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. God said, one day I'm going to deal with the proud and mighty. I'm in control of this earth. I said many times, God going to smash his fist in the earth and come from beyond history and set the record straight who the boss is. It's going to happen. It's prophesied throughout the Bible. And from the wicked their light is withdrawn, and the high arm shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? You know, there's place that they have in the ocean and in the seas that they haven't been able to measure yet. It's so deep. It appears to be abysmal, bottomless. Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? The gates of hell? Have you seen the gates of hell? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? You know exactly the measurement of this earth? The width, the breadth of it? The length of the earth, you know it? God got it to the inch. Believe me. Jesus said in the New Testament, the very hair, he knows the very hair number, the number of your hairs he knows on your head. The exact number of hairs God got on your head. That's a God of precision. He could tell you how many hairs are on your head. He could tell me how many hairs are on my head. Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare thou the knowest all. Wherein the way where the light dwelleth. You know where the light dwelleth? You know the treasure light Enoch talked about? The treasures of light. You know where that is? The treasures of darkness. You know where that is too? That thou shouldest take it to the bound thereof, and that thou shouldest know the paths of the household. Thou. Do you know about the procession of the equinoxes? That's what God's talking about. Procession of lights. Knowest thou it because thou wast born, or because the number of thy days is great? Have you lived long enough to understand all the deep things of the universe like I do? Hast thou entered into the treasures of snow, or hast thou seen the treasures of hail? Have you seen the storehouses where I keep snow and hail at? Get the book Enoch. He talks about that. Which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war. He's the good Lord of hosts, Jehovah Sabbath. He uses hail, remember, in Egypt. Rain, hail, mingled with fire on top of it. They got fire and ice. They help destroy Egypt. He uses it for war. He's a God of war. He got everything, Jehovah Sabbath, the Lord of hosts, anything's at his disposal. The elements. He can use whatever. If he want to just touch the sun a little bit, which he's going to do in Revelation, to burn up a third of the earth, he's going to do that. By what way is the light parted, which scattereth and cast the wind upon the earth? Who hath divided the water course for the overflowing of the waters? He's talking about the rivers. All the rivers that run throughout the earth. Who quartered them up? God. Or a way for the lightning or thunder. He controls that. To cause it to rain up on earth. The laws of precipitation. God's over that. Sure, you understand it in the physical, how the water rain comes down from the clouds. Then it's washed off into the rivers, and then the rivers flow into the sea. And then the sea, over the sea, the clouds are formed. And the laws of precipitation go round and around. But who set this up? He's telling me. Who set this rain, laws of precipitation up? God did. He's over it all. He set everything in motion. Ain't no such thing as no accidents. This is all divine intelligent design, including our bodies, everything else. Idiots talking about we come from from a rock or protozoa or something stupid. This is divine intelligence. This is divine intelligent design. This whole earth, everything. There's no accidents. Everything's done with precision. If we were just to move an inch, a fraction, a centimeter closer to the sun, we'd burn up. Just a centimeter. Everything's with precision with God. Divine intelligent design. I stated before, study the blood. You'll bow down to divine intelligent design. Just study the blood, how complex it is. Study RNA, DNA. It's nothing but a computer chip that's in us. No accident, nothing random here. God's the boss. He's the creator. This is who you're dealing with right here. He's telling Job, I did all this. He's the only one that has boasting rights to anything. The earth is mine and the cattle on 1,000 hills. I own this earth. Designed it, built it, designed you, and built you. To cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, on the wilderness where there is no man. He said, I got desolate areas. No man lives. I set it up that way. To satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause to build up the tender herb and spring forth. Hath the rain a father, or have begotten the drops of dew? Out of whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven? Who hath gendered it? The waters are hidden as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Talking about the ice cap. North Pole, South Pole. Who froze those caps? Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Now he's getting into the celestial stars of heaven. God put them stars up there for signs and wonders, for seasons. And that was God's original message that Satan perverted. I'll just touch lightly on it, and I'm not going to get deep. That's God's glory revealed from the heavens. The story of God's Son and redemption is written in the stars, starting with Virgo and ending with Leo. Virgo the virgin, and Leo the lion. And God, Christ is the lion of the tribe of Judah. And you got 3 constellations that accompany. The one constellations will mix up 4 times 12, 48. Each one had a story. They knew the story. Satan perverted it, as he perverts everything, and turned it into astrology, when astronomy is of God. Paul, what you think Paul was talking about in Romans, when he said the heavens have revealed the glory of the God? Who's the glory of God? Christ. The tale is a picture. It's a story, a picture story, a picture board in the stars that talked about the coming Redeemer and the warfare that was to take place between God and Satan, written in the stars. Like I said, starting with Virgo and ending with Leo. That's God's storybook in the stars. You can get a book, E. Raymond Cap, Glory to the Stars. Read that. Canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds in abundance of waters that cover thee? Canst thou send lightning that they may go forth and say unto thee, here we are? Send the lightning answers to me. Who hath put wisdom in the inward parts? Or who hath given understanding to the heart? God. God created the conscience. See, we're intelligent beings, not just matter. But we also have a heart and a soul. We have a conscience. Where did that come from? God said, I created your heart, your conscience, to make you question. To make you question not only your existence, but to make you reason. That's apart from the matter, apart from the brain. That's the soul, the Rosh, that he breathed into you. Once he breathed that into you, you were intelligent. You weren't no pro-magna man, dragging a woman around by the hair with a club, looking to build a fire somewhere, trying to discover. No, we were created. Man was very intelligent when God created. He got stupid. He devolved, not evolved. He devolved. Man got dumber. And only when Christ came did we start going back up again. Let us make man in our image. Who have put wisdom in the inward parts, or who have given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds in wisdom, or who can stay the bottles of heaven? When the dust groweth into the hardness. He said, I make dirt hard. When the land gets dry and arid, the dirt gets hard, like a rock. And the clods cleave fast together. Wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion? God said, I feed the lions. Or feel the appetite of the young lions. These are his animals. All you animal right activists, God does what he wants with them too. You got a record in his Bible of him killing animals on a daily basis for his the Levitical codes going for an offering and everything. He does what he. Matter of fact, he's bringing animal sacrifice back. I happen to love animals, but I know God has a right to do what he wants. It's his creation. He's bringing animal sacrificing back during the millennium, 1,000 years. When they crouch in their dens and abide in their covert to hide in wait, who provideth the raven his food? Who feeds the birds? When his young ones cry unto God, they wander for lack of meat. God said, I take care of the animals. I feed them. I just want to give you. Now he goes on. And God's boasting. You can read it for yourself. Read chapter 39 for yourself. God's still boasting. Telling all the stuff he did. He even talks about, I even created the behemoths and the Leviathan, the monsters. I created monsters in earth. Yeah, there's monsters there. Bigfoots. God created those. He said, I left them to roam. You read it for yourself. Keep reading. You're right. He said, I left them to roam in the desolate places. God created the monsters. The Loch Nesses and everything. That's God. Now, I'm going to finish off with Romans 9:11. Let's turn to the Bibles to Romans 9:11. I want you to get a good understanding that God's the boss. He does what he wants to do. That's my job. To get you out of your perceptual set that God has to be fair. No, he don't. This verse is about to really destroy that. Romans 7:11. Oh, excuse me, 9:11. Sorry about the Romans 9:11. Okay, for the children not being born yet, talking about Esau and Jacob. They were in Rebekah's womb, weren't even born. This is in Genesis. The story of Genesis. For the children not yet being born yet, neither having done any good or evil, they were in their womb, that the purpose of God according to the election might stand, not of works, but him that called him. It was said unto her, the elder should serve the younger. God declared that the youngest son that's in the womb, even though they twins, whoever came out first was considered the firstborn when you were twins under the law of the Old Testament. But God turned it around, said he can do what he wanted. They weren't even born. He said, no, I'm going to switch it around before they came out. He changed it himself. It is written, Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. They weren't out the womb yet. And God's already declared who he loves and hates. So, Esau didn't have a chance coming out the gate. He said, I hate this baby. Now, baby, you can't do nothing wrong. It ain't not even born yet to be a baby. Still in the womb, just to show you God has a right to do what he wants. It's not fair. Yeah. You keep on chatting that on the way to hell and see how fair that is. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? Is God unjust? That's what the title is. Is God unjust? That's exactly what I named it. No, God can do what he wants to do. He's the big cheese. He's the head honcho. He's numero uno. There is no other day to run to in the universe. He's it. You got to answer to him. He can do what he wants to do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness of God? God forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. He's the boss. Some people he just don't want. Like I said before, some born, eat, die, crap, go straight to hell, and God don't want them, never called them. You lucky if you sitting here. I believe everybody sitting here listening to this is called. Now what you do with the calling, you got to get to teaching the parable of the seed sower. You could be that 3/4 that don't make it. You could be the hard-packed earth Christian. You could be the stony stone one that sprung up happy and then wither away, or you could be the one that cares of riches and deceitfulness of riches and the cares of this life choke the word out and you become unfruitful. That's 3/4 that didn't make it. The good heart was the last one, where the seed took root and bore fruit. So which one you going to be? But I believe you're all called. Ain't no accident. Sitting here and listening to this message. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, this is verse 17, for the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this cause purpose I have raised thee up, that I may show off my power. He told Pharaoh, I'll raise you up that I might destroy you. Now, that was your purpose. Remember Pharaoh of Egypt? God rained all the plagues, and God hardened his heart. He hardened his heart. He said, you were designed to be my whipping boy, my whipping post. That's what Pharaoh was. Imagine you created just so God could show off his power on you. And you go right to hell. That's all you were good for. God's the boss. He did what he wanted. I raised thee up that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. I wanted to make a name for myself in the earth. That's why I raised you up, Pharaoh. And God did. Therefore he have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he have hardeneth. God harden your heart, look out. You're going to hell. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? You ain't in no position to judge God. Shall the thing form to the thing that formed it? Why hast thou made me thus? Make a clay object and let it come to life and talk back to you. And see how you feel. Or create something that talks and then get a wire across that says, F you, F you. You're going to tear that thing's head off and throw it in the fire. Throw it in the trash, throw it in Why hast thou made me thus? You can't even question God. What you made me for? He's the potter, you're the clay. Hath the potter not power over the clay, or the same lump to make one vessel to honor and another to dishonor? What if God, willing to show his wrath and make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction? See, I let the vessels fitted for wrath. You know why the wicked live so long and so evil, living to 100, 110, and they're doing everything wicked, evil under the sun? Because I made them, I suffer them to live because this is all they got. This is their life. The spit in the ocean compared to eternity, and then burning and roasted in hell. So let them have their 110 year, 100 years. They'll be in evil. They'll get theirs. And the righteous live for eternity. They'll get theirs. One vessel designed for heaven, another for hell. God's the boss. Is God unjust? No. God being God can be anything he want to be. It's like if you God, you could be anything you want to be. And you better get your stewardship straight with God, because he's watching that too. Be not deceived, he's not marked. He's still God. You better honor him and be a good steward. Get your tithes, offerings, first fruits. Alabaster box, break it, the street priest ministry if I taught you. Galatians 6. Muzzle not the ox. Feed this ox here. Give him his corn. Streetpriestministry.org. Hit the donate button. Good day, good evening, good night. Peace unto you. May you be blessed by this word and move to fear to serve the Lord in Jesus' name. Amen.